Hey everyone, I was just going to make a quick little video this morning about our planting job on the Mary. We got 5,000 trees in the ground just before Christmas. I was out here Christmas Eve actually, getting the last of them in, but got them all in. Had beautiful growing conditions, you know, just steady rain for about 2 months. And then we had really big rain, big flood come through, and it just knackered the site. So we were trying to just brush cut around the trees, no spraying, trying to keep as much root systems in the ground as possible to mitigate any damage from the floods. But what ended up happening was that tall grass just laid over flat, straight over the trees, knocked them down to the ground, and then the sediment built up on top of that, which meant it was just a lot of work going through, scrounging around the ground, trying to find these trees. But we've got through it and it's actually really good. We've got probably about 30% losses. Some much higher losses in areas such as this little area here. It's a bit of a water course that cuts through, and that had a lot of trees gouged out. But on a lot of the other areas we've got really good success rate, which is awesome to see. And these are some of these trees we planted with the Lomandra with them, and that was amazing. It just held that root system in the ground and they buffered the water so well for the little fellas. So that's a really interesting technique that I think I'll be implementing more in these riparian areas. So the site was previously revegged, but it was done on a very sparse scale, just as a sort of trial, because we got a lot of deer out here that rub everything. And obviously being a flood zone, it's a bit hard to put too much effort into your reveg. So a lot of these more mature trees are looking great. But a few of them did get bowled over. Like here we've got this white cedar. And yeah, it got completely flattened. So what I've done with this one is I've just taken off those lower growing branches, because they're just going to act as a climbing gym for all your weedy vines. And this way, it's already bowled over. I'm not going to stake it up again, because the theory is going that what you got to do is you got to leave them in their place, because they've been set by this flood. And now, next time a flood comes through, they can't get any more bowled over. You might lose a few branches that are reshot straight upwards, but the root system and the trunk is all set to exactly the way that the fluid dynamics works in the system. I'll just show you the river itself. Well, actually that's not the river. The river's on the other side of this island. That's just an overflow, and you can see we're quite high up here. We'd be about 5-6 meters above the water level. So, and this whole site went under by about 1 meter, so it's just incredible the amount of force. You know, there's massive logs that have been dragged right up here. But it's incredible also to see what these mature trees can actually do in starting to hold the soil together. And yeah, here's another example of your white cedar. This one's been bowled over and it's quite a bit bigger. So it's really tempting to think, oh, there's some beautiful, nice, lush growth on the tip there. All I got to do is stake it up. But you're going to do more damage to the root system. And like I say, it's already bowled over. That's set in place. That's not going to, you know, go any closer to the ground with another flood. You might get a few of these nice water shoots that are going to snap off again. But I'm a firm believer in that if it's set in place and it's in a flood zone, just cut it off nice and low. I'll go about 1 meter and then I'll let all that go and I'll let it just reshoot. It's a bit of a loss, you know, quite a few years of growing, but with the root systems it's going to just come back so vigorous. So yeah, that's about it from me today. Just an interesting sort of system to work in, and yeah, I look forward to seeing how it responds over the next couple of years. I think it's got some really promising stuff going on. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. I'll catch you next time.